So I've broken this down into a 7 or 8 step type of thing for you to follow. Should be easy, should be simple, but the execution is the hard part. And before I get into this, I want you to know that I was someone who also struggled with a lot of bad habits in my life, and I had to find a way, I had to find my own system to help me break free from it all. Some of it may be advice that others have never told you, but it worked for me, and I can guarantee that it can help for you if you're someone who's watching this. The first step is to face the truth and the reality of your life. And I know this may seem like, generic advice, but the truth is, a lot of people don't even accept the fact that they're addicted. I had to accept the fact that I was addicted to vaping, to the weed, to all the stupid stuff in my life. That was the first thing. When I accepted that fact, I can now choose to take action to actually removing it from my life. So look at your habits. Look at everything in your life that you're doing that's a bad habit. I want you to be brutally honest with all the habits in your life and look at each one. Are they keeping you weak or is it making you stronger? And if it's keeping you weak, it's most likely a bad habit, right? Because if it's destroying your productivity, you can't focus, you can't actually build and grow as a person, it's keeping you weak. Be honest with yourself because this system will help you, it helped me with all bad habits, right? And if you find yourself going back to it, come back to this video. The second thing is to understand, why are you doing this? For me, right, when I was vaping, it was more so just a sense to feel something, or it was a way to relieve stress. And over time, you just get so used to doing it that you forget why you started doing it to begin with. These habits don't just exist because, you just want to do it. They're always there because you're trying to fill something up in your life. And you have chosen to now go down this path where you have this cycle of constantly doing these vicious bad habits that are keeping you stuck. So you need to be honest with, what is causing me to do this? What's making me want to do this? That's how I had to be. Right? I had to be real honest with myself. I was like, I'm avoiding some sort of discomfort. So I'm trying to fill it up with this comfortable bad habit that over time will just lead to more discomfort. Understand, what type of thing are you trying to avoid? Is this some sort of pain, boredom? What are you trying to avoid that's making you do this bad habit to begin with? Understanding the thing or the emotion that you're feeling that's triggering you to always go take a hit from the vape or smoke the thing or watch porn. That's what's gonna make you understand now what is the real root problem. Not the habit. It's just a symptom of something that's deeper. And the third step, I see online that many people will probably disagree with me, but I think you should remove any sort of bad habit and go cold turkey. There's always this BS of people telling you to gradually stop, going on your phone or to gradually stop a habit. I completely disagree. I think you need to go cold turkey with it because this gradual stuff, it's not really going to help you. You need to cut it out completely, straight up. This is what I did. I straight away just quit the nicotine, quit the weed, quit all that stuff. I didn't gradually just keep doing it until I had to stop. I just said, screw that. I'm getting it out of my life. I find that this works better than just gradually going down, especially like with something like online, right? Like with porn or Netflix, something like that. You don't want to just gradually stop it. I find that this is kind of weak. You need to actually just stop it right away and embrace the discomfort you're going to feel. The fourth thing I want you to do is to now replace the habit with something better. So I didn't just quit the bad habits. What I did was I quit them and I replaced it, because now there's all this empty time, right, that was there before, but I had to think to myself, well, if I just don't do anything, I'm gonna go back to doing the habit. Instead of something like porn, go work out. Instead of scrolling through Instagram, create some content. Do something that's better for you and replace each of those habits with something that's more meaningful. Because all those bad habits, they tend to be these quick, cheap dopamine things that are easy and comfortable. But I want you to replace all of that with stuff that is harder to do, but more meaningful and require delayed gratification. Now you're not doing these high stimulating, quick dopamine activities. Now you're doing stuff that is real. You start to get that real dopamine inside of you. You start to reward yourself. You start to feel better over and over and over again. The fifth step is to commit to daily discipline. I literally have a private coaching program for you to build discipline in your life. It's the first link in the description. But you need to be disciplined. You need to be consistently committed to doing this every day. Why? Because the habit you were doing before, you were doing it pretty close to every day, probably every day. You're most likely doing it every day, weren't you, bro? So you need to do this now every day. I don't care if it's you reading a page a day. I don't care if it's you just working out for 25 minutes a day. Start slowly, build it up. But you need to stay consistent and disciplined with it. Because now you're making this a new habit. Something that is now filling the time up and you're swapping it. But it's more meaningful and it's actually going to help build you up in your life rather than tear you down and bring you back to where you were before. Right? This is exactly how I started with working out. I chose this instead of smoking and I just chose to work out. And this is the same thing I started doing now. Guess what? One habit is building me up. The other one was tearing me down. And over time, when you choose a habit that's building you up and you keep doing this consistently, now it's just part of your life. Same way that smoking was part of your life before, but now it's not there because you've replaced it with something better. It takes daily consistency to do this. You're going to have to embrace the pain and embrace the discomfort, which is now the sixth step. It's not going to be easy because doing these things is hard, and also you're now not having a high dopamine thing in your life anymore. And this is exactly what I want you to feel. I want you to feel the pain and discomfort of actually quitting those habits and seeing what they were doing for you in your life. Because that's an important step to know that you cannot go back. Use that pain as fuel to go forward, to actually achieve the greater goals that are going to build you up and the best habits for you in your life right now. This is probably the most important step because people want it to be easy. They want breaking a bad habit to be easy, but you've been doing that habit for 10 plus years. You've been doing the habit forever. Of course it's not going to be easy. Of course it's going to be uncomfortable to break it. But you need to embrace the discomfort and embrace the pain. Yes, there will be times where you will literally fall back into old patterns. Same thing has happened to me. I've fallen back many times, several times, but I never quit. I choose to always go forward again. And if you're someone who will quit, you'll always go back and you'll be stuck in the same place. But you need to take the risk, because you either take the risk and change your life, or you stay the same forever. And at least if you take the risk, there's a chance. But if you don't do anything, what's going to happen? You're going to stay the same. Miserable, broke, weak, lazy. So when you feel like you want to go back to that habit, I want you to sit there. I literally want you to sit there and feel the pain. Feel the discomfort. Acknowledge it. And I want you to take a deep breath. I want you to sit there and literally take a deep breath and acknowledge the pain and the discomfort of you not going back to that bad habit. Because it will pass. That feeling, that urge that you have to go back to it, it will pass. But you're going to have to be willing to acknowledge that craving that you have to go back, right? Because think about it, you've been doing this for a while now. So you're going to have that craving, of course. The seventh step is to now build the emotional and mental toughness and resiliency. When you're choosing to take the path of discipline rather than the path of the ease and the comfort, you are building mental toughness and you are building emotional resiliency. And these are the two things that will help you keep moving forward. And these are two things that help you stay disciplined as well. You see how it's almost like a cycle, right? And I want you to also learn and consume smartly. Consume things that are going to help you grow even better, learn even more, start to actually build more and more skills now that you're not numbed down by those bad habits that were keeping you back, like porn and smoking, drinking, partying. These things are now not numbing you down. Now you actually can think straight and focus properly on something that's going to help you in your life. You start to build more skills, harder things, but they're actually better for you and you feel good and you get the good dopamine now. Now you start doing it over and over again. And you're training your brain to understand that discomfort is not bad. It's growth. And as a man, you need to understand that going through the pain and the discomfort is how you grow. Not the comfort, not the easy stuff. That stuff doesn't do anything to you. It keeps you the same. And the next step is you're going to have to rewire your identity, your personal identity, how you see yourself. You are now no longer somebody who is trying to quit a habit. It's not who you are anymore. That's a key thing I think a lot of people forget. You don't see yourself as someone who was trying to quit smoking. You don't see yourself as someone who's trying to quit porn. You don't see yourself as someone who's trying to quit watching so many movies all the time. You're not that person anymore. When you tell yourself that you are someone who's trying to quit, you'll always be still struggling with that habit. You have to see yourself as someone who is different. You don't smoke. You don't watch porn. That's how you need to see yourself. You're someone who doesn't do these things. You're not someone who's trying to quit them. You don't do them. You don't do them at all, right? You need to identify yourself as someone who is now disciplined, who has self-control, who is strong. This is how you need to see yourself. And now that you see yourself like this, you need to keep acting like this and reinforcing this part of your identity. When you do this and you embody this identity for yourself, breaking a bad habit becomes a lot easier. Because it's not who you see yourself as. You don't see yourself as this guy who, is still a smoker who's trying to quit. You see yourself as a disciplined man. Smoking, that's not me. I don't do that. It's not who I am. I don't need to do that. And I think this is probably the second most important step after embracing the pain and discomfort, because when you see yourself as different, you actually start to act like that. And the final step I want you is to develop patience in your life. You need to develop patience because it's not going to be easy. Okay. If you think this whole thing is going to be easy, breaking a bad habit, building a new habit, it's not going to be easy at all. Now, sometimes it will be. It depends on how long the habit has been in your life for. If it's been in your life for 10 plus years, well, expect it to take some time for you to break the habit. You're going to fall back into old patterns. You're going to come back, it's going to take time, bro. For me, like some habits took longer than others. But it's about staying consistent and doing it anyways. And a lot of discipline is rooted in self-belief. When you actually believe that you can change your life, and when you see yourself as a disciplined person already, it's possible. But please stop trying to look for a quick fix. We live in a society now where people want quick things. Everything is quick. It's all instant gratification. You work on your business, it doesn't work, you quit. You work out, you don't see the muscle soon, you quit. Because we're so used to everything coming so quick. The thing is, this is not how the world works. Everything worthwhile takes time to build. And it's all delayed gratification. Because the things that have delayed gratification, it's more meaningful and you feel more fulfilled when you do it rather than junk food, porn, Netflix. These things are all quick pleasure. They don't actually fill you up, right? Which is why you constantly need more until you eventually feel like it's a bad habit, destroying your life, and everything is ruined. You changing your life takes time. Stop waiting for the overnight success, overnight this. No. Take time and enjoy the grind. Literally enjoy it. Enjoy the journey and just keep moving forward. If you are dead serious about becoming more disciplined and having self-control and building physical strength to become more free, to get more respect, attract higher quality women, I want you to book a call right now. It's the first link in the description. Secondly, I want you to go ahead and follow me on Instagram. That should be the second link in the description. And lastly, I want you to subscribe right now. I'll see you next time.